morning, Lawrence. Stocks go up, stocks go down. CPI, what do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Over 3, probably go lower. Over 4, we collapse. Under 2.5, we rip higher. Isn't it interesting that the SPX almost high of year going into the CPI? Crazy. NVIDIA trying to break up 916, 922. If it hits 929, it's going to go absolute haywire and a monster mash up. Okay? Chips are not going with it. There's an article out there yesterday by Taiwan Semi that says you don't need ASML's high-end machine to make AI. Don't know if that's true. If that's true, bad for ASML. If it's not, then can really take off. Then we see meme stocks. GME lower, hit 80 yesterday, came down. Just have to understand what's going on. Bitcoin up a little bit, but not that much. Coin holding 200. Interesting. Keep an eye on that one. SMCI up. SMCI up. Very, very interesting. Implies NVIDIA can take out this 916 to 922 at open. And where does SPX go? Okay, then we see. Something to know. So I had a CD. I have some CDs too. At a bank, and I had to go there, and it was a 5% 2-month CD, and the new rate is 3.3 for 2 months. So I actually moved it out, right? So, but 5% to 3.3 on a 2 month. They didn't even drop it to 4. What's going on here? Did they know? Do they know the CPI? Do they know rates are going lower? Kind of crazy, right? Kind of crazy. So keep an eye on that. Goldman Sachs continues to rip nonstop higher. Just runner. ARM 118. If it can get to 118 and go to 122, 126. Last time it hit 117.9, it ripped 40. Okay, so just keep an eye on that one. UPSD trying to go and break up. UPSD through 31 can squeeze. BKNG moving again, trying to go through 38.21 flies. And Avago, how about Sam's Beast numbers? 1356, hit 1356, moved 26 points. Okay? Interesting. So that's what's going on. That's what's going on today. But all about the CPI, what happens? Does it go up? Does it go down? Here's the reality of the situation. I've told you this stuff before. We still got 5 minutes. I've told you this stuff before. The world changes. And people that don't change, they get obliterated. Their accounts go to shit. Their business goes to shit. Their company goes to shit. You have to change. Just because you read it in a book 25 years ago doesn't make it true. The yield curve is an example. You still have professors coming on TV telling you yield curve inversion. He started telling you that 2 years ago. That means an imminent 3 to 6 months you're going to get a recession. And you don't. It's 18 months later and they're saying the same thing. These are old people. Now, Sam's old. Okay? So I can say that. Nobody else can say that. But old people. You can't trade old. What does that mean? That means the news is the news. What happens is new and it's based on news. Okay? NVIDIA earnings next week, where does it go? People ask me nonstop about strikes. I don't know. What I know is if they do a split, it can go all the way to 1,100. If they miss, it can go to 700, probably 620. If they beat and guide up naturally, maybe 1,000, 1,020, 1,050. And that's what's going on. Carvana set up. Car prices are there's a lack of used cars. Okay? It's a lack of used cars. So I have some BMW X5, so every once in a while I do some crazy stuff. I just put it into Kelly Blue Book or whatever and see what you're offering me. They're offering me $6,000 less than they offered me 3 months ago. Isn't that interesting? See, it's just information. You do this stuff for information. Information makes you better at everything you do. Information. And then we see. Okay? I actually think it's going to be a decent CPI. I don't think it's bad. They said every component of the PPI was lower. Every component that's in the CPI was lower. And then there's the whole thing of, I don't know what the hell the government's doing. I mean, the first thing I would do, I'd say, who the hell puts a CPI out and then the next day puts a PPI out for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you put a PPI out the day before the CPI? If you're going to put CPI out and the PPI out the next day, you do it for the next 20 years. Why are you changing it? Makes no sense. Sam is all about Sam. Here we go. SPX is up 1 right now. We need to see what it comes in, and still 2 minutes. I do have some SPXs on the thing. If we take out, if we come in at 3.3 or higher, would not surprise me to see 100 point down. 100 point down. Okay? But just remember, all this stuff is going forward. If they say this was higher, but that won't be higher next month, then we right back up. Okay? Things that go up, UPSD will fly on a low CPI, bank related. Carvana will fly on a low CPI because interest rates would be lower for cars. BKNG would fly on a low CPI. Vice versa, they would go the other way if it's not a good CPI. Okay? So it's about to come here. If somebody gets it, type it in real quick. 1 more minute. NDX, almost high of year in tandem. Remember, we like in tandem trading. That means if 3 things are going and they're all in the same sector, they should go. NVIDIA just ripped. 922. 922, here we go. Hold on. SPX is flying. What is it? 0.3. NVIDIA took off. Avago looks like it wants 1422. Carvana took off 126. UPST took off, just like I told you. BKNG 1800, it just took off. Ripper. Now watch NVIDIA, 922. If it takes out 929, it's going to be a rip of ages, and you don't want to miss it. Let's get going here. Let's get going. Got to get through this real fast. Everything's moving. SPX up 29 at 29 to it. Say 30, just round it up. 52.75, 52.75, 52.91, 5300, 53.22 underneath 52.50, under 52.50. Avago flying 14.22, 14.22, 14.51. NVIDIA ripper. This thing takes out 9.29. Do not be short. Rip of ages. Are you smiling? Lam Research, moving, 932, 951, BKNG 1809, but if it trades at 1822, this thing can go to 39. If it trades at 3822, it can go to 3920. That's the first trade after earnings. GME just sitting there, needs 62 to go. AMC needs 7 to go. UPSD is over 30. Can we get 33 for it? That'll be a 61 cents to $3. Carvana's flying. Can we get 6 for it? If it trades at 128, go 133. ARM, right there. 122, 128. Goldman Sachs, 162. ASML, fine. It's been 4+ weeks. 952. MicroStrategy. Bitcoin just took off. 1382, but trades on Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs 65. Coin better. 211 than 216. Meta first day starting to look better. 490. Nasdaq exploding higher. This thing's really going to pop. SMCI. If it takes out 872, don't be short. It can rip to 950 really fast. Even now, a little bit better. 791 is a beast, still a long way away. Microsoft runner, 421. Tesla, 182 on the EV ban. It's positive for them. Look at NVIDIA go. Everybody have a great trading day. This is going to be Rippy. See you in chat.